order. You're gonna do. No, roll call, sorry, roll call.
Vote.
Here.
Deers.
Here.
Lux. Here. Lucero.
Here.
Campbell. Here.
All right, now for this pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have anything to add to the agenda, or is it?
No.
Nothing, okay, so no additions, we just need an approval of the agenda, please.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. So we did move, public forum items to the beginning of the meeting, just because we knew there might be some people here that have some, questions or concerns, or want to say something, and we know it's Wednesday night and it's church night, so people want to say it and need to leave, that's okay too. So that's kind of why we did it that way. So we're gonna open it up to the floor if there's anybody, but I don't think we had any
We didn't
requests.
have any
We
forms,
didn't have
but
any forms, but
did you have anything you were wanting to?
were you just here to listen?
I was just gonna listen.
Listen, okay. Okay, so nothing there. Old business review and discuss the middle school remodel project. We did receive the, update on Tuesday. And it had some, cost estimates in there and whatnot. It looks like the one that we received today is about $5,000 difference. Margie just did a quick explanation of why that was. Overall, I think we'll just have you go through everything or anything that you want to say, but I think most, we got the information we had asked for. Now we're just kind of to the point for any discussion and
Yeah,
what we're gonna do.
I guess I'll speak for the reason that I kind of advocated to have this special meeting. And that was because when we dialed in on those cost estimates, and tried to work pretty hard on getting those as accurate as you can. You never know until you bid it. And then with a remodel, you never really know until you get into it, so there's always those caveats there, but we've got a pretty healthy amount in the, contingency fund there that, best case scenario, you don't spend any of the contingency. That almost never happens, but I think even like with the elementary projects, we ended up with a fairly good chunk of that contingency left that we didn't spend. So it's almost like if you spend the whole budget, that's maybe a worst case scenario or close to worst case scenario, but you should just plan on it. You should just budget. There it is. So anyway, I'm just trying not to talk in circles here, but when some cost estimates came in higher than we had initially thought, it just seemed prudent to sit on it a little bit, give us a chance to ask some questions. I know Robin raised some questions with, collaboration with the city on some things. So that extra little time gave us some time to make sure that we're, on the same page there, getting those things checked out. We've had conversations, not as a board, but like I've had conversations individually with some of you that have wanted additional information or clarification. And it's not really any new stuff. It's stuff that has been rehashed in public meetings. But anyway, here we are tonight. And I think we've had time to kind of digest it, wrap our heads around it. And I think, we're at the position or the point now where if we're gonna go forward with this project, we need to have the go ahead and have a board motion to move to the next phase, which would be construction documents, correct, Michelle?
Yes, construction documents is the next phase.
And so that's where we're at. So I guess I'll put the question to the board members and you can discuss it as much or as little as you'd like. Like I said, we've had quite a few meetings already, but it's yours to chew on.
Okay, I think we'll start with, I know Robin had some questions at the last meeting. I believe those have been answered unless there was anything else. Robin, was there? I mean, you were just kind of wondering if there had been some discussion with the city and it sounds
Yeah.
like that took place.
Yep, so all the city discussion happened, the police department doesn't have any issues and the storm and sewer, got added to the project. So that was gonna be an additional cost that's now included in there. And then I think the third one was the legislative change that might affect the capital outlay fund that we determined isn't gonna affect our district and how we recoup those funds. So all my questions were answered.
Okay. I think that was kind of where we wanted to start it, just to make sure, was there anybody else that had specific questions? Or that want to talk or say anything about the proposal?
You know, I'm pretty supportive of this whole thing. I did have, a couple of questions that were answered, relating to, you know, questions that had been posed to me or different conversations that I had had. You know, I think that based on where we're at with our numbers in the district and, where our projections are to be at, I think that this is what we need to do. I think that when you look at the safety risk associated with keeping the building as is, I think we have a duty to do what we can, to improve that, whether that be for functionality purposes, for pickup and drop off, or for, you know, the bigger aspect of, you know, being able to see who's coming into your building and making your building more, approachable that way.
Anything else?
I think my questions were all answered too, with, a lot of the safety is a main concern, and then also, you know, the benefits it can offer our kids. Like I said, we discussed all of those benefits.
Okay.
You know, that's what we have to keep moving forward. We can't regress, we need to progress.
I agree. I think you look at just CTE and how much CTE has grown. I mean, you look at Spearfish adding their CTE building, it's not going away. If anything, there's a lot more emphasis being placed on that, and I think we'd be remiss to disregard that in favor of minimizing the number of options we have available.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions last time, so I don't have anything to add. I guess I was comfortable last time we talked about it, but we wanted to make sure everybody else was comfortable as well, I think. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I will say we did receive an email from a concerned citizen. His points were taken, but I don't think, I don't have the same concern. I think we have the money in the budget. I think we can make do. We will be, you know, good stewards of that money and make sure we can save where we can. But I think ultimately we have to look at what we're offering our kids right now. Things have changed, classrooms have changed. The high school building is what it is. We can't do a whole lot with it, but we can with some of the other buildings. So that's all I have to say on that.
So I think regarding that email, I think, you know, for me being a newer member, I wanted to make sure that I had the, Dr. Pearson provided that information to me, so
Perfect.
answered my questions.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I think we had 7 board meetings where this was on the agenda. We kind of talked about it. We had a public meeting, just an informative meeting. And I didn't really have much feedback from anybody. So then kind of looking at like their strategic plan, capital outlay plan, it lays it out that this is something that we've kind of been budgeting for. We budgeted for it this year, and it's in the capital outlay plan, the budget for it next year. And I think with it being mainly a safety concern and then more visibility for the middle school office, like I agree that it's kind of our due diligence to do something when we can. So I really support it. And then also just looking at CTE and STEM classes and offering that at a middle school level and offering more classes and different classes. Kids are learning stuff at a younger age. And so really, if it is our goal to help these kids find their passion and to figure out what they want to do when they're older, if we can offer introductory classes at the middle school level, I really feel like that's going to help our kids in the long run.
Okay. So it is on the agenda for an action item tonight. I think specifically we'd be looking at signing, what is it called? But would we have to sign anything tonight? Or what is that? I thought that there was something we had to sign.
Michelle, is there something there's probably a contract you need to sign from us, right?
We do have, the design contract for design services that was sent to you, so that, does need to be signed. But in addition to that, we just ask for sign off, on this, to end DD phase, which, includes everything that's in the pricing that you're looking at. So I can follow up with you with an email, Eric, and have you sign something if that works for you.
Yeah, that was kind of my understanding that we would approve, approve moving to the construction documents phase. And then just administratively would sign that, document
Yes,
at board meeting, but we would, based on our action tonight, we would sign that or not sign it, so.
thank you.
What does she call it? There's a specific name. Construction bids, construction.
What are we calling this, Michelle? Like, we're, like, our next phase?
So this would be DD approval, which is DD stands for design development. So it's design development phase approval. And that once we have that approval, then we move into construction documents.
That's what I was looking for.
And
All right.
then the construction documents be a separate motion to approve, or would that be included with this?
It's the design
Design
development phase. What we're approving.
Yeah, you're approving the design development phase. Yeah, sorry, I didn't have the terminology quite square there, but then the construction documents are something that JLG will initiate, correct, Michelle?
Yeah,
Right.
so we put those together, and those basically we do have one more when they're at about 50%, we do another cost estimate in-house. And then when the CDs are complete, we send those out for bidding. So getting bids back, obviously, before you sign contracts, that's a big approval. But the CD cost estimate is, again, trying to get a little bit more detail in the drawings and take another look at, the pricing. So it's sort of, it's a check system as we go through the phases. So there would be, I think, 2 more approvals. The CD
But
cost
tonight, we're
estimate.
not approving construction documents tonight. We're only approving the design development phase.
Correct.
That's what we're doing tonight. And then you're gonna go ahead and work on the next step. Then we're gonna see another set of construction documents that we'll probably have to approve, is how I understand it.
Yeah, and you'll approve putting it out for bid.
Yeah.
So we'll, like, our next
That's what
big,
you're looking at.
our next big steps for the board will be to put this out for bids.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a bid opening and move forward that way, so.
Okay, so I think what we'd be looking for a motion on then is to approve the design development phase and probably allow the superintendent to sign the design contracts.
Yes.
Comfortable with that? That's, I think, what we're looking for tonight. Anything else we'll have to have further on meetings.
So motion for design
Development phase
development phase and
to allow the superintendent to
allow
sign
the
the
superintendent
contract.
to sign the contract. Okay. I'll make a motion to
Oh,
all of that.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Mary, did that make sense to you?
Yep.
Got
I have
it?
down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I can't.
Then I think that's all we had tonight, right? There's no additional things. We appreciate everybody's input on this, so I know we had a lot of it, so that's good. The next regular board meeting is actually next Tuesday, April 8th at 5:30 back in this room.
awesome.
That's all we have.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There we go.
Second.
She said, wait a minute. Paper.
I
Aye.
Okay.